If you're here to learn about the basics of biology, then welcome to Genetimix. My name is Tim. On this channel we cover science communication, critical thinking, and here and there a bit of genetics. Biology is the study of living organisms and a few things that are not quite living but use living organisms to make copies of themselves. Biology is also often referred to as life science, and I will use the two terms interchangeably on this channel. As an introduction to the field of biology, we're going to take a look at a few of the main concepts, and then do a quick skim through the main fields of biology, and finally do the same for the main applications. Living things are highly organized, from atoms and molecules to cells, tissues, organs, and organ systems. One of the core concepts of biology is cell theory. All living things are made of cells, and all cells come from pre-existing cells. Cells are the basic units of life. The next group I've lumped together as being, or essentially being alive. So reproduction, growth and development. All living organisms can reproduce and grow, many developing from a single cell to a complex organism, some staying as a single cell for the whole of their lifespan. Homeostasis is the term used for maintaining a stable internal environment that is required by living organisms to survive, and it's crucial for processes like metabolism and enzyme function. All living things consume energy and have a metabolism. They require energy to function and grow, and they transform energy from one form to another through processes like photosynthesis and cellular respiration. All living creatures have some kind of response to stimuli. They can sense and respond to their environment. Another core concept of biology is interaction. This includes the distribution, so how and where organisms live, and then also how they interact with each other and their surroundings. Next core concept is heredity. So this includes both gene theory and the theory of evolution. Genes are segments of DNA, and they're the basic units of heredity, and they're passed from the parents to the offspring. And the theory of evolution is one of the foundational principles of biology. All life on Earth has evolved from common ancestors through natural selection. This process has led to the great diversity of species we see today. There are two main domains of life, prokaryotes and eukaryotes, with eukaryotic cells being much larger and more complex than prokaryotic ones. This image shows stylistically some of the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. This is a eukaryotic cell. This one down here is the prokaryote. This is much larger than it would be in comparison to the eukaryotic cells. The eukaryotic cells are much larger than the prokaryotic cells, and they have much more complex internal structures, including a nucleus where the DNA is kept. Prokaryotes are broken up into two main groups, bacteria and archaea, with archaea appearing to be the bridge between the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes, given that the Asgard archaea in particular share some similar features to eukaryotes. Jumping in then to have a quick look at my science mind map, starting with biology in the middle here. Some fields of biology are essentially ubiquitous, or cross-discipline as I've called them here, as they contain principles that are foundational to multiple other fields. This includes things like evolutionary biology, biochemistry, and my own field of genetics. There are specific fields for the major kingdoms and phyla of life, with botany and zoology, microbiology and mycology, the study of fungi. Biologists also often find themselves specializing within a combination of fields, such as microbial genetics, which was the subject of my undergraduate degree project. One of the most interesting parts of science is how all of the many fields of science overlap with each other. Biology is essentially an emergent phenomenon from physics and chemistry, and the history of life overlaps significantly with the history of the planet. So the overlaps with geology in particular I find fascinating. Some fields in biology are hybrid combinations with scientific fields outside the life sciences, including biochemistry, again, biophysics, quantum biology, astrobiology, paleontology, biogeography, bioinformatics, and abiogenesis, which is how life got started from non-life. There are quite a lot of overlaps between biology and medicine, of course. and fields such as toxicology and parasitology, pathology, I've kind of grouped together here into biomedical, which sort of leads me into some of the applications of biology. Again, many of the best known ones are medical applications, which includes biomedical science, which has things in it like clinical and genetic epidemiology, clinical virology, medical microbiology, pathophysiology. There's also kinesiology, including biomechanics and orthopedics, and various other health sciences, including immunotherapy, medical devices, pharmacology up here. There's the applied field of genomics, which is the study of genetics at the whole genome level. And pharmacogenomics combines pharmacology and genomics. There are applications of biology in material science, including bioelectronics, biocomputers, bioengineering, various other biomaterials, biotechnology and synthetic biology, applied food, things like agriculture, fermentation and food science, and there are applications in environmental science as well, including environmental health, biomonitoring, biocontrol, and conservation biology. I'll be coming back to cover many of the fields and applications of biology in a lot more detail in future episodes, as well as referring back to many of the core concepts. I hope this was a brief but useful introduction. And that wraps us up for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. My social media feeds and Patreon are in the description below. Remember, science is amazing. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.